Hello and welcome to Create Context Weekly Movie Minute. We are brought to you by createcontext.com. A link is in the description. Go check that out for more film reviews and analysis. This week we are talking about Wicked. Wicked is the second big screen musical that serves as an origin story for one of media's greatest villains to come out this year. Two isn't a lot, but it is weird that we've gotten two this year. And Wicked is far superior in almost every way than this year's Joker Folie à Deux. Wicked tells the origin story of the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz, the water-melting, flying monkey-taming, evil green witch from The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is an almost perfect film, and adding to the story's mythos is a large task. The 2003 musical is an adaptation of a 1995 novel that follows the same story, but much like the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz, Wicked the musical has far surpassed its source material in popularity. Wicked is sure to be one of this year's biggest hits, and few musicals have come to life so seamlessly on the big screen. Wicked acts as a prequel to the events of The Wizard of Oz. The film follows a young green witch named Elphaba and her frenemy turned BFF, Glinda, the future good witch of the North. Cynthia Erivo plays Elphaba, while Ariana Grande gets the role of Galinda, and both actresses are perfect casting choices. These characters and roles have already become iconic, thanks in no small part to their portrayals by Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, respectively, in the play's initial Broadway run. Stepping into each witch's shoes is no small feat, but the two leads nail their portrayals. Adapting a musical for the screen comes with a host of unique challenges, and the results can vary from Oscar contender to midnight movie farce. Think about Chicago versus Cats. Stepping into the shoes and hats of these iconic characters could have resulted in disaster, but fortunately, Erivo and Grande do such a stellar job that they will no doubt become synonymous with the characters in years to come. Wicked is first and foremost a musical. A few recent musical adaptations, notably the latest Mean Girls adaptations, have attempted to hide the fact that their film is a musical. Wicked is unabashedly a musical. The film is packed with musical numbers wall to wall in its 2-hour and 41-minute runtime. Wicked doesn't reinvent the wheel when it comes to musical numbers, but it performs them better than almost any film in recent memory. Wicked does have the advantage of featuring some already well-known songs. The original Broadway cast recording is a double platinum record, with songs like Popular and Defying Gravity branching into the cultural zeitgeist. This could have been a double-edged sword, with the original recordings already being so well-known, but the vocal performances from the two leads are just as good as the original casts. Wicked is a fantastic stage production, but the film allows a bigger and grander set pieces in the world of Oz. This film features some truly magnificent looking sets, from the Emerald City to the school Elphaba and Galinda attend. Being able to move freely throughout this world and not being stuck behind a fourth wall does a great deal for the visual storytelling of Wicked. Every set feels both grand and earned. The Wizard of Oz is often remembered for the epic feeling of scale the filmmakers were able to create in 1939. Wicked does the same thing for audiences in 2024. Oz feels like a grand utopian world where magic exists and good always triumphs over evil. The general plot of Wicked is the same as its Broadway production, and this film only follows the musical's first act. That's surprising given the film's steep runtime, but fortunately, the film never overstays its welcome. 2 hours and 40 minutes is a lot to ask for an audience, but Wicked remains entertaining throughout its entirety. Much like the play, Wicked the film deals with larger themes of racism and perceived power. There's a B plot line that follows talking animals facing discrimination in Oz, and due to the nature of the film being in two parts, this plot line is never resolved. Elphaba is eventually given an audience with the wizard to voice her concerns over the discrimination, but if you're familiar with the 1939 film, you probably already know the wizard doesn't have as much power as the people may think. It's an interesting idea that is not fully resolved until the second act, but it does make this first film feel just a bit incomplete. Elphaba and Galinda are the main stars of this film, and it's their relationship that's front and center. The two begin the film as unlikely roommates who borderline despise each other. Grande does a great job portraying the ever perky Glinda, formerly known as Galinda, and Erivo is a fantastic as the chip on her shoulder green outcast. The two have incredible on screen chemistry, and it's a blast watching their relationship blossom on screen. Wicked plays around with some larger themes, but the best one here is the theme of friendship and acceptance. Both characters have their flaws, but neither which tries to change each other. Once they accept the other for who they are, they stop seeing each other's quirks as flaws, but instead as charms. One drawback of both the play and the film is the lack of any strong supporting characters. The Wizard of Oz has some iconic supporting characters in the Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow, but Wicked focuses solely on its two leads. The film attempts to add some flavor to the supporting cast, with Jonathan Bailey playing a sort of dual love interest for the witches and Bowen Yang as the snarky friend, but it all falls kind of flat. This is a story about Glinda and Elphaba, and everyone else just sort of feels like background noise. The background characters may just be a victim of the film's source material. Erivo and Grande are the only ones, aside from Jeff Goldblum as the wizard late in the film, who gets a real musical number, and any attempt to shoehorn in new songs would feel disingenuous. Still, the film feels lacking when it comes to the characters in Oz. The true standout and the reason to go see the film are the musical numbers. Some of the songs have been extended for the screen, but they're almost all bangers. Defying Gravity is still an incredible song, and it sounds amazing with Grande and Erivo handling lead vocals. I'm not sure if they use the original recording's orchestration, but the music behind the vocals also sounds incredible. And Wicked is a film that should be seen and heard in theaters, preferably on the biggest and loudest screen. Wicked is a triumph on almost all fronts. I went into this movie with low expectations, and the film blew me away. A musical that is 2 hours and 41 minutes did not sound like my bag, and the fact that it's only telling half a story was not appealing to me at all. But Wicked made a believer out of me, and I am thoroughly excited for the film's final act. Some recommendations if you like Wicked or you're looking for something similar would be, well, The Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is a classic for a reason, and it's a near perfect movie. The characters and the themes they portray are a bit on the nose, but it's a fantastic film with stellar musical numbers and a near perfect 3-act structure. Next, I would recommend The Wiz. The Wiz is an urban retelling of The Wizard of Oz that features an all-black cast. It's a 1978 film directed by Sidney Lumet and features Diana Ross playing the Dorothy character and Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow. It's a fun subversion of the original film that still follows much of its themes and ideas, but modernizing it and opening it up to newer audiences. I would also recommend, and this is a bit of an odd one, the 1995 Chris Farley and David Spade-led film Tommy Boy. Wicked is about two witches who begin the film as frenemies before realizing how much they have in common and becoming great friends. Tommy Boy follows that same general idea, with Chris Farley playing his quintessential doofy persona and David Spade being the snarky know-it-all. It's a hilarious film, but one that contains a lot of heart, and at its core is a film about friendship and becoming a better person. Thank you so much for watching Create Context Weekly Movie Minute. Again, we are brought to you by CreateContext.com. A link is in the description.